I'm Kathleen Drumheller, and guess what? It's that time again. Halloween time. If you're a parent, this means you're getting ready to run out to the store and buy your kids some Halloween costumes. Maybe you're even planning a party for them at school or at home. But you're definitely getting ready for those trick-or-treating treks across the neighborhood. If you don't have kids, probably means you're getting ready to buy those big bags of candy for all those trick-or-treaters you know will be at your door on Halloween night. But have you ever wondered around this time how Halloween came to be the holiday that it is today? Where did these traditions come from? Well, today I'd like to tell you about some interesting historical facts about Halloween. First, I'll discuss the ancient and religious origins of Halloween. And then I'll talk about how it was changed by the Roman influence. And then I'll talk about its final evolution when it came to the United States. The origins of Halloween date back over 2,000 years to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, which occurred on October 31st. This is because in ancient Celtic tradition, November 1st was the New Year's Day, and this signified to them a changing of the seasons, where it became darker, colder. There was a large loss of life during this time. So they believed on the eve of October 31st, that the line between the living and the dead became blurred, that the ghosts of the dead could come back to the earth, mostly to wreak havoc on the villagers. So they developed Samhain, where they would build large bonfires and burn sacrificial crops to the deities to pray for a safer winter. They would dress up in costumes made of animal furs and skins, trying to mimic evil spirits to appease them. This went on for over 1,000 years, until the Romans finally conquered most of the Celtic lands. The Romans decided to try and combine some of their Christian beliefs and festivals with those of Samhain. So Pope Boniface IV decided to make November 1st All Saints' Day, whereby changing the ancient pagan festival of Samhain to a church-sanctified holiday. The night before it was to be called All Hallows' Eve. Many of the same traditions and rituals still occurred on All Hallows' Eve as it did on Samhain. They still built large bonfires and had festivals and parades to celebrate the dead, but there were a few church-approved changes. For instance, the costumes were now made to mimic saints and angels and devils. The Romans also introduced the practice of souling, which is where on All Hallows' Eve, poor people will go door to door for money in exchange for prayers for the dead on All Saints' Day. This again went on until Halloween came to the U.S. in the mid-1800s. It was brought by Irish immigrants who were fleeing the potato famine of 1846. And with them they brought their customs of All Hallows' Eve, one of which was ritualized begging, which stemmed from the souling process. Americans had never before seen this, but they began to mimic their Irish immigrants, and they would go door to door on All Hallows' Eve wearing costumes begging for money or food, whereby starting the tradition of trick-or-treating. Most of these original traditions in the United States started out during harvest festivals. They were community-based and differed from community to community. And this went on until about the 20th century, when these harvest festivals turned into more parties that centered around games and fun and different kinds of costumes. But trick-or-treating lost its momentum because of the sugar rationing from World War II. Now, because Halloween became more about parties and fun, it lost a lot of its superstitious and religious undertones. And this was further exacerbated by the baby boomers of the 1950s, who really popularized Halloween as a child's holiday. Because of the large numbers of children, parties were moved from communities into schoolrooms or at homes to further accommodate the children. Trick-or-treating was revived as an inexpensive way for the community and the children to interact during this time. This is how Halloween came to be the holiday that it is today. I'm so glad I got to tell you guys about some interesting historical facts about Halloween. And if you'd like to find out more, you can go to some of the same resources that I went to, one of which was thehistorychannel.com, who not only had web pages on the origins of Halloween, but they also did a televised special on it. I also went to HalloweenHistory.org and HalloweenMagazine.com. Well, I hope everybody has a safe and happy Halloween.